Good evening and welcome to the shop here in beautiful downtown Canterbury. It's a lovely late fall, early winter night, and it's warm in the shop. We've got the heater on and it's good to have you here. You make it warm too. So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. As you saw on the description, we want to share our big reveal of the end table. So far, it's not completely finished, but this was the original Bowfront end table that we did. Some of you may remember. We talked about it some time ago. It was a great experience for doing the sunburst pattern of veneer on the drawer front. We put a little ebony line around there, and I didn't bring the top over, but the top is not on this, but it had a, I don't have a finished top, but the top had a field of sapele quilted with a radiant border, like cross-banding border. And so this one was more traditionally done in terms of there being an upper and lower drawer divider. And then using this pattern on the drawer front is actually just having some fun, you know, doing something a little bit original. But other than that, it's a fairly traditional drawer. It's got a laminated front. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, and it was veneered, and it's got a binding around the edge of ebony. So very traditional otherwise, with a slot for the drawer bottom made of pine. So that was the initial Bowfront end table. And some of you took part in the class that we had very recently that was actually a masterclass version of the same table. And we put a few spins on it. We, instead of the sides being straight across the bottom, we gave them a little bit of a swag, a nice downward sweeping curve, and to match grain sweeping this way as well. And we kept in the curve this way. So we also wanted the big feature though to be a drawer front that was not interrupted by the drawer dividers. So we pushed the drawer dividers back and then made an interior drawer and then attached an overlay or an outer drawer face, and that allowed us some freedom to create some different patterns. So you can see here's an example of the overlay face before veneer was on it, and this is going to go in this space here. And you see it's just laminated like the other drawer front, but it's much thinner because this is like almost half of the new drawer front. So this is the outer or overlay part of it that's going to overlay the drawer divider so you don't have that interrupting anymore. I inlaid this solid piece of mahogany so that we could carve into it. But after this is inlaid, then we applied the veneer, some Cuban mahogany veneer at an angle to give it kind of an upswept feeling, and then routed in an 1/8 inch groove and let in this ebony line. Once that was all in, we knew our triangle of solid, higher quality mahogany was behind here. So we routed through just that skin deep and sawed the line and sawed the lower profile for a fan like this. So after we sawed it out, we then carved it. And this is all included in that bonus course section on the Bowfront end table. So if you wanted to push your game or just have fun watching that, and you already are in the neighborhood or something like that, you have access to that, check it out. It's the master class of this Bowfront end table.
And if you don't have it yet and you'd like to, the description holds the link below.
Yeah, and you can, all that course, you didn't miss it. It's all archived there. We do record them live though, so that's what's kind of fun. We've got one right now that's going on. I'll tell you about a little after. But what we want to do, we'll show you the new version. It's got some finish on it, but it's not completely finished. The new Bowfront Masterclass End Table. And
Yes.
here it is.
I'll have a drum to roll. Oh,
Drum roll.
wow.
All right.
Yes.
So check it out. It's got the classic mahogany color. It's got just shellac on it now. I put a very diluted version of dichromate on there because one thing about having furniture hanging around the shop for a while is it starts to oxidize and darken from the beginning, right?
Oh, it's so pretty.
And so look at the top. This is the Ambonia burl that we talked about a couple weeks ago about using burl. And this is the one that I showed you that evening of being veneered, and I had to patch it in special ways. And then here's that ebony line. And look, here are the ebony lines and that beautiful solid regular genuine mahogany here that's only like an 1/8 inch thick. See how the grain's running, and it's got a stronger kind of beautiful grain similar to the Cuban, but it's running the other way. So I love how this interplay is. You've got the smooth kind of sweeping curves, and then the sweeping curves of the fan that are actually textured. And here, this is what I want you to see. I haven't put the finish on the interior of the drawer or the drawer bottom, but let's take this out so you can see how the drawer is made. So we see the back of this drawer. It's not, this drawer is still right at 3/4 of an inch thick, but the inner part of the drawer was made so it slipped fully into the opening. And when that goes into the opening, then it's flush with these drawer dividers. I'm going to move the top for a second. We can see, you can see looking down this way how these drawer dividers, they're a little narrower and they're pushed back so that overlay drawer front will fit in that groove. So the first drawer was made, and then the drawer front, the overlay drawer front here was set over, and I took a little video of putting glue on the front. I slid the drawer front in before I had this on, and I got it in position, and then I brought the new front in, positioned it right where it was to go, and pushed the inner drawer front against it with the glue on it. And holding it there, I shot like some little pin nails in, 1/2 inch pin nails from the back to hold it from spinning and keeping position. Then I was able to take it out and put it in the clamps with some piece of wood across and glue that on. And if you look at the thumbnail for this video, you're seeing this overlay drawer front is clamped on the inner. That's how I had it clamped on, which is some spring clamps. And what was cool about it is because this was made to fit, once it's on, it looks like it's a solid drawer front. And like we rabbited this out because it's just flush with the side. I just skim planed it because the initial drawer was made to fit the opening.
Tricky.
And the other side is the same. So you get this seamless kind of appearance. And when this is finished, it'll have a little darker, more finished quality. But I'm going to put regular clear shellac here. I have a little bit of an amber shellac on the legs, a couple coats from our friends at Wood Finishing Enterprises. They have some great shellac there. Anyway.
Legs are so beautiful there too.
Yeah, they really popped. I mean, such nice mahogany. I was quite pleased with them. The drawer interior on this one we made out of poplar. So, but a beautiful combination. And then when it goes in, you'll be able to see how it slips in. But if you look from above, you can really see how the overlay works. It comes in, the inner goes into the opening, and then the outer is stopped right at the divider. So you have this built-in stop. So there's no need to install stops. And because we have this little drop here, there's no need for hardware for pull. This is the pull. We'll reach under and pull. Now the one last thing I'm going to add on to this, and I'll take a little video of doing it, is I'm going to add a little piece of material to thicken this up a little, and just with a gouge, I'm going to cut a little bit of a cove to thicken it up and to give you a softer kind of finger hold when you reach under there. You won't be feeling just the thinness of the overlay. It'll feel thicker, and it has to be put on though carefully when this is in position, because it has to be below the drawer divider, the lower drawer divider, which is right about at that peak. So when I drew this arc, I had it end, so just slightly above that point is the drawer divider, the bottom edge. So it gives us some nice room for the silhouette of that bottom. And then you check out the sides, you can see the swag here, the nice drop. And the way the grain also has that sweeping curve, all three sides, we've got the same sweeping curve happening.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, really, really satisfying to see it like this. And you know, if this was done in time, I would have put it in the Furniture Master show, but you're my Furniture Master show this year. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll probably put it in something at some point. We'll get it out there on display.
Here, hold that up a little bit. I was at an angle looking at it, so good.
Yeah. Once we get the finish on here, you know, this again was, this is so much fun to work with, because like the last time, you remember I had to fill some holes, like right here, there's one filled right there. See that little outline? But it's pretty tight, but it's a notice, that's the biggest one I think I have here. On the other one, I filled this spot too. This one wasn't as bad. Kind of wish I did fill that now. I got to fill it with some clear shellac or something. There are other ones here too, but I can't even see them. It's so busy that it leaves, they just disappear. So I've got 2 thin coats of wax-free shellac on here. I'm gonna go with the aqua coat again to fill it, and I'll fill any stronger dings, you know, get it nice and filled, and then I'll seal it with the shellac again. And then, I'm not sure, I'll probably, the lacquer looks so good, I might just do the lacquer top again. The way that rubbed out on the previous table that I shared with you in the summer, the early summer, we put it in the gallery show, and it was great. It got seen there and actually bought there. I won't say any names.
Remind us, hon, what that veneer is.
This is the, did I say
Ambonia?
Ambonia?
Well,
I'm sorry, I said Ambonia. I meant to say Carpathian Elm
Yes.
Burl.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so used
Tony
to.
caught you on that.
Yeah,
think
I just realized I
that's
must
right.
have said Ambonia. Yeah, Carpathian Elm Burl. It's really cool how you have these little swirls of side grain here, and where it's not as busy with all the little pips and swirls, and it's a kind of a break for your eye, like this, I don't know, it's like an enchanted forest, you know. You can be in the field over here. It's just stunning. But I love it on that horizontal plane, as I explained in the course. You have like this, all this visual, you know, mahogany going on down here, all this darker accents, almost like you're in shadow with your Cuban veneer and the solid legs, and then the solid carved fan. And then up in the horizontal plane, you have this pool of swirling little currents of beautiful material that is a lighter color too. So in this plane, it's complementary. Like the darker reds and browns in here are very close to the mahogany. So, but you've got these really nice tans, you see,
Yes.
and variety of colors there. So I'm excited to get this finished. And I'll give you another reveal and talk about that little finger hold when we get to that point, so you get to see it fully finished.
Yeah, we have a question from Bob. He's asking if the veneering class you did for fine woodworking includes going over how to do that kind of veneer, but you didn't address burl veneer in the fine woodworking, but you do cover it in this class, in this course, the Bowfront End Table course.
Well, we just did it in a, we've done it in a few few videos, Shop Night Live videos. Just 2 weeks ago, we did one on the burl veneers and flattening them, and talking about this. In the fine woodworking course, that was more of a foundational course. So we talked a lot about the tools, the glues, the methods, the basics, and we got into veneering, some of the foundational veneering types. But we didn't get into this complexity because this is like, we had to talk about flattening and punching and using. So this is a nice one. With the other videos, we'll put links to those other videos that we have on burls that we did, or you could check out that one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's called Working with Burl Veneer.
Yeah.
So I'll
And
put that in the chat.
and in the description there's going to be a lot of great links to other videos we've done that will explain a lot about burl veneer. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's fairly affordable, as I found out
Beautiful.
recently from Certainly Wood. Great to go that way too.
I had another question from Mark. He's remembering in the shaker chest of drawers that you showed how to make special runners to help with the wear. But
Yeah.
you don't have that in here.
No, Mark, it's kind of optional on a small table like this that gets really very little use. It's really critical on a chest of drawers, personally, because when I was working with Pug, we would get old chests come in to the shop that the runners were worn. Either you would sight down the drawer bottom and you'd have them dished out like that, and sometimes inside the chest there'd be gouges and little troughs run in the drawer runners in the chest. So you'd have to like pull them out, replace them. We'd have to rip a straight point and glue a strip on. It was a pain. You do a few of those, you're like, this is a weak point, you know? If I get to make my own chest of drawers, I'm gonna eliminate that weak point. So in that course, I was trying to just present I think, the strongest features, the optimal drawer bottoms or drawer boxes for a chest of drawers in a traditional way, by laminating a solid strip of maple on the bottom of the edge and making them out of light white pine that's very stable, so you have a lighter drawer. That's the thing. With chests of drawers, for clothing can get heavy in there, and then some of the lower drawers are quite deep. On wood, it's gonna wear. But in here, I've got an ash runners, and this is poplar. This is actually harder. But even if it was white pine, I wouldn't worry about it because you really don't open the drawers much, and it's very gentle, and there's not much weight in there at all. Anyway, so that's kind of optional. You could do them, certainly, but I emphasize it on chests for that reason. So good question, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Well, we have a special announcement for you tonight. Do you know that this is our 311th episode of Shop Night Live? Almost
Crazy.
Every week for 6.5 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Since March of 2019.
Wow, it's crazy.
Almost every Thursday.
It went by so fast, and it's so fun. And I'm not speaking in the past tense because it's the end forever, but it is the time for a change. We feel it. We feel like we want to refresh the format a bit and shift the way we do Shop Night Live. Instead of every week, we're going to shift it to once a month, every third Thursday. So you can put that on your calendars. But it won't be limited necessarily to just that. We will have other spontaneous pop-ups where we'll want to let you know, hey, we're going live tonight. So it's going to be more spontaneous in terms of what we have going on and when we want to share it live. So you want to be on the mailing list, definitely. If you want to get those notifications for those special shop night lives that are just more on the spontaneous side. But we will be every third Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Now, we've got so many videos out there that feel like I've done so many techniques that I really want to focus on content that is more about the projects, people, and places, and do some edited video content that represents the whole theme of epic woodworking. That, in addition with really focusing on the content for the neighborhood, just building more courses like this end table and really enjoying that aspect. So pouring more of ourselves into that instead of every week on the Shop Night Live. Now, you might be wondering, hey, what about all those episodes of Shop Night Live? Well, they're still going to be there. The great thing, if you're in the neighborhood, we have actually an index feature. So by being part of the neighborhood, you not only get access to all the project courses, but you get an index, easy to find all the videos, all the 310 videos on our YouTube channel. So
They're
index for that.
topically categorized, so
Yeah,
you can
so-
search.
So that's a great resource, and we want to make that available to you that way. So you got that as well. So I'm actually quite excited to change it up a little bit. And I hope you'll be along with us for the ride. And you really have made the whole difference why we've come this far. It's your faithful support and being part of this. I know many of you are regulars. Some of you maybe are new. And if you like this, check out the website and get on the mailing list so you can find out more about all of this if you wanted more and you're disappointed to hear that we're going once a month. But we would love you to stay with us and actually give us feedback on the new format. Like, you're going to see more video like edited. We're going to shoot for, like, this may not sound like much, but one a month of a stronger edited video. Sometimes we might have more than that where it's not as much, but that's the goal. And when we have those, it might be when we want to launch it, we may do a spontaneous Shop Night Live. So we'll let you know about that. We'll premiere the new videos. We'll talk about behind the scenes with you and all of that. So really excited about that. We've got some other things in the can that we can't talk about yet, but we're definitely excited to fill out this year and to go into the next year and all the events and things we have going on next year. Let me show you this. This is actually what we got going on right now, is the class for the contemporary dining chair. So if you're in the neighborhood, you already have access to this class. If you want to check it out, it's very much like this chair. So it's got some complexity with the curved back and the curved splat backrest and the sweeping front tapered leg. And there's a lot of features to it that are really great. But this chair, we've only done one session so far. So the second session is this Saturday. If you're watching this in the future, it doesn't mean anything, but this Saturday at 10 a.m. If you're watching this in the future, that whole course is probably available on the website for you to watch, Lord willing, right, if we get through it. But this is a really great chair. It's a little more challenging than the Craftsman dining chair, which is a better place to start if you just want to flex and build some chair making muscles. That's a good place to start. This one has a little more curved lines, but it's very doable. If you wanted to jump in and you had some woodworking background and skills, you could certainly make a chair like this for your first one as well. So we're calling this one the contemporary dining chair for the lines and a lot of flush surfaces and the sweeping curves. And it's really a fun project. That's an example of how we're just excited to get more courses going. And some of them will be, Tuesday, Thursday nights, and possibly Saturdays as we put the courses together. So that's the plan. What do you think? You think you're going to enjoy that? I hope you'll be part of it. We do appreciate you being such a support to this point, and we hope you'll enjoy moving and seeing what's in store for the next chapter. This is going to afford us a lot of new opportunities to do some other things. So
yeah, we announced this to the mailing list earlier this week and talked a little bit in there about the name Epic Woodworking and how Tom, when he chose that name, was thinking about the heroic adventure meaning of that word. And so we're hoping these edited videos, our plan is to make the theme of those around that idea and the creative experience that people have being heroic, because you have a lot to get through, a lot of resistance to get through to do something creative.
Yeah, to meet people, to tell their stories, to have them tell their stories, to go on location to historic places of great meaning, to incorporate in new projects things we've learned out on the road, from places and people we've met. So that's kind of exciting to do that. I think, we've had the pleasure of visiting Sam Malouf's shop in the last year and quite a number of other shops and places. And we've got quite a few in mind. This is a really rich area, New England, for visiting and taking in different sites. And we just see how that will feed into the experience and the story and richness of the work that we make here in the shop and the kind of projects we have, we're making as part of our library of classes there in the neighborhood and sharing with each other. So, when it comes to making, there's no substitute in my mind than feeling like you're in the shop with somebody. And that's why we record the videos and the project courses the way we do, because it's modeled after my experience working with Pug in the shop in North Carolina. I mean, he didn't talk about what he was doing like I do to you, but he answered my questions in the same way. Like I would have the questions and he would feed back. So sometimes you're hearing me, a lot of times you're hearing what I observed and heard him tell me. So we're all just kind of apprentices, right? It's a lifelong thing. And there's lots of places we draw from. And he's certainly one of the deepest, richest wells that has fed me. But there's a lot of things. And I learned a lot from you too, like having you here and the exchanges and in the forum on in the neighborhood. People are posting photos and ideas and throwing out questions. Yeah. There's a great community of exchange. If you haven't checked that out, it's really well worth it. That turned into something that I didn't even envision as a bonus too.
Yeah, this is going to allow us to really put more energy into the neighborhood. And yes, Tony's asking about a demi-lune. You do have plans to do a demi-lune table next year?
Yes. Yes.
And I do have a question back to the chair. Solid seat for the chair?
No, this is going to be an upholstered seat. It's actually the more advanced type of upholstered seat where it's going to rest inside of this recess. So let me show you this side. I put a little patch over here where I had a little dig. This is a rabbited, and this little corner is going to get rabbited out too. So let me grab this other chair and I'll show you. That's a classic seat that you'd find on a lot of 18th century furniture. So we have, this is a very similar chair, and this is the seat. So it's upholstered, but the frame is fitted and it just slips into that recess. So you can see when it's finished, you have these nice little rounded corners, and that's a nice clean way of doing it. There's a lot more involved than the seat being right on top of the frame, or even just making a wooden seat, like as far as you gain the comfort of the upholstered seat. But when it slips in there, that's why it's called a slip seat, it's held in there. So it gives you a nice clean profile and a comfortable seat that's bordered by here. It's got a soft little round over of wood. It's a nice wood border around that rabbited recess. So yeah, that's the technique with that one.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, everyone. Wow. Well, we actually covered a lot tonight, and excited to give you the new announcement too. Thanks again for being part of this. And if you enjoy this content, if you're new to this and you haven't subscribed yet, why not? What do you got to lose? And we do hope you consider subscribing, liking, and sharing, of course. But check out the website at epicwoodworking.com.
Yes.
You can check out all the things we've just been talking about. I think you'll enjoy seeing that.
To get to know you all more. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being part of our lives and sharing this great creative journey with us as part of Shop Night Live. We will be seeing you again soon enough. On behalf of the camera lady and myself, we'll see you next time right back here on Shop Night Live. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you so much.